Technology and livelihood education, bread and pastry production. Bread and pastry production, first quarter, lesson 4. Our topic is types, kinds, and classification of bakery products. Most of us have experienced the pleasant sensation of walking into a bakery and smelling the sweet aroma of fresh baked goods right out of the oven. Whether it is a bread, a cake, or cookies, this experience is really enticing to try baking even with just a simple bread recipe. Bread is one of the most popular and best sold baked products, not only in our country but in other countries as well. Many countries have bread as their staple food. The quality of the bread is affected by the type of ingredients used, the manner the dough is mixed or prepared, and the temperature maintained during baking. Kinds of bakery products. One kind of bakery products are the breads. Classification of bread on which leavening agent is used which makes the bread rise. First is the yeast bread. It refers to the bread that uses yeast as a leavener. The yeast causes the formation of carbon dioxide gas through fermentation of the sugar in the bread dough. This causes the bread to rise, making it lightly and airy. Yeast bread is formed into countless shapes and sizes. Some of these are bagels, challah, egg bread, English muffins, flatbread, no-knead bread, potato bread, and pretzels. Kinds of dough in baking bread. First is the lean dough. The basic ingredients for bread, which include flour, yeast, salt, a little sugar, and shortening, make up the lean dough. This dough is made into the pan de sal, pan americano, French bread, and other crusty bread varieties. The next kind of dough is the rich dough. Aside from the basic ingredients for bread, rich dough has butter, nuts, fruits, eggs, and condiments. Milk is often used too. Rich dough also uses more sugar. This dough is used in making rolls, coffee cakes, and sweet bread varieties. Here are some methods of mixing dough. First is the straight dough method. This method combines all ingredients together at one time to make the dough. The dough is kneaded and set aside to rise. Another method of mixing dough is the sponge and dough method. This method mixes part of the liquid, flour, and all of the yeast to make soft mixture which is set aside to rise until bubbly. Then, the maintaining ingredients are added and the mixture is treated as straight dough. Another classification of bread is the quick bread. It is any bread leavened with leavening agents other than yeast or eggs. Quick breads are baking. Here is the mixing methods for quick bread. First is the creaming method. It uses solid shortening instead of fat. The sugar and the shortening are creamed together with wooden spoon or electric mixer until light. Eggs are added one at a time, followed by adding dry and liquid ingredients alternately. Another mixing method for quick breads is the muffin method. First, mix wet ingredients in one bowl and the dry ingredients in another bowl. Pour the wet over the tray and combine, mixing as little as possible. When your mixture is made, pour into a bread pan instead of muffin tin. Another mixing method for quick breads is the biscuit method. Batter or fat of some kind is blended into the flour so it provides flaky texture. Done by combining flour and cold butter that has been broken down into pieces around the size of a pea, then folding in a liquid to combine it all together. Remember, yeast breads are left to rise at least once before baking, while quick breads do not rise before baking. Yeast breads have a lower fat and sugar content than quick breads, and yeast breads take a bit more work than a quick breads. Another kind of bakery products are the cookies. They are really little cakes, flat, sweet, and small. They can be made in variety of shapes and flavors and can be served in just as many different ways. One type of cookies is the drop cookies. They are the irregular and unevenly shaped cookies. They are made simply by dropping the cookie batter from a teaspoon to a baking sheet to get the popular tongue-shaped cookies. One example of this is the chocolate chips cookies. Another type of cookie is the rolled cookies. They are made from dough which have been rolled out and cut with cutters to form shapes that fit special occasions such as Christmas, Valentine's, and Easter. Next is the press or bag cookies. They are made with more butter which makes the finished product richer in taste than the other types of cookies. They are made by pressing the mixture out of the cookie presser or pastry tube onto the baking sheet, and at the same time forming it into varied shapes like rings and ribbons. The cookie bars. This type of cookie is cut into bars after baking. They are usually small and square in shape. Refrigerated cookies. This type of cookie is frozen and cut into desired shapes before baking. A time to remember. This is Maylene Huliganga. Thank you for watching.